Okay, really quick, guys. We're going into Nvidia semiconductors. What's happening with that part of the market? There's a lot of confusion. You're getting $7, 6%, downside here. SMH as a whole is literally in turmoil. As you go to the chart, you go to the 2-hour, you can see you're below $200 here on SMH. A massive, massive support there. I mean, semis are getting hit, right? The whole market's getting hit, but semis are getting hit. And I mean, I will say right now, this is kind of like last line of defense right here. And if we start breaking below like 195, I mean, semis can really start dropping down further. But the question is what do you do with the long term? Like, are you buying these? Are you selling these? Are you short? Whatever. And I'm going to give you my viewpoint, what we're looking at as a whole. Because again, I've been very bearish here on the channel when I look at the overall market. And, that's paid off. Being bearish has paid off. But I also think that where you make your money here, where you get the opportunity, is going to be averaging in to some of these positions and setting yourself up for the next year or so. And because I don't think this is going to last for a long time like the 2022 dip. Okay. Now, the first thing, the only piece of news I want to discuss here is semiconductors regarding tariffs. Specifically with, if you guys saw on my Twitter, by the way, this is just really funny. Trump was just asked about the stock market since the reaction to tariffs. He says it's going very well. The market's going to boom. It was just 5 big booms. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Really quickly, though, I want to go into something that I mentioned yesterday so you guys can see it. It's on my Twitter. The link is down below if you guys are interested. But this was basically a breakdown of all the tariffs out there. And I think it might be on the other one as well. I have another one posted, but Taiwan's at 32%. So this doesn't apply to chips. People are like, oh, well, it applies to computers. That is, a computer is not this all semiconductors. So we have to understand the difference. So right now, semiconductors have dodged this tariff bullet. Now, what I will say is they're still going down. The whole market's going down, so it makes sense that you're following. But I do think there's a bad case scenario here, because if they do start implementing tariffs towards semis, it's going to get hit even further. But what I will say, in the short term, I don't think, and I think if there's any industry that's going to get the workaround on tariffs here, it's semiconductors. Why? And we talked a lot about this previously. They're making such large investments into the United States. TSM, multi-billion-dollar factories being manufactured here. AVGO working with acquiring Intel's factories to start building there as well. Same thing with TSM, working with them. Nvidia just announced a new deal coming into America. So they're making those investments in good faith. And so I believe, and there's no guarantee here, but I personally believe that those deals were manufactured and structured so that they could avoid tariffs. And again, this might not be fair to some sectors, whatever, but this is the hottest sector in the world, right? Automakers aren't the hottest sector. Cloud isn't the hottest sector. Semiconductors are the future of what everything's being built on. And Trump's a smart guy. Like, whether you want to admit it or not, I think he does have a plan here, right? And I think that right now, if this is the way that they structured it, I think it was very smart by Trump to manufacture the sense of semis. We're not gonna really talk about it, keep them under the radar of tariffs. But guess what? You have to be dumping money back in the United States. And this will benefit America. It just won't do it in the short term. And I think eventually we will back off these tariffs. I think it's a short-term negotiating tactic. It's going to cause pain. But yeah, now the bad part of this is if I'm not right here and they start to put tariffs on semiconductors, it's going to be bad. You will see the market get hit hard. So I want to make that very clear. Now, as a whole, what am I looking at here with semiconductors? Because again, you are at a massive support. If you start breaking below 195, it's going to get ugly. But right now, what I'm looking at specifically is Nvidia working its way down and seeing some more short-term downside. Because again, I do believe, even though I like semiconductors, they're going to follow the NASDAQ. And again, going into your death crosses, which is what I do want to talk about for a second as well. We were talking about this. I got laughed at because, everyone's like, the death cross, Tyler, what happened? Those same people that trolled us, you can't hear them anymore. They've lost all their money. So that's where we're at right now. Now, before I go too far as well, I do want to give a special shout out to Discord, because again, we've been killing it today in Discord. So in Trade Ideas, let you know we have the starter plan, but starter plan's locked up as of now, which gives you access to like our watch list, broad setups in the market, things we're looking at, trading chat, etc. We will start be doing the live video trading as well. come Monday, so be prepared for that. But in trade ideas, we posted the exact setups today. We went 2 trades for myself. Jordan had 2 other trades. But what we looked at here was QQQ this morning. Again, the break below 457 down to 454. You actually went down to 452, which was the original target, my original target too, but I moved it up to be conservative. Can't complain. But again, we had that, and then we had Netflix down to target 1 from the retest of the 100 MA at 924 right down to 911. Too soon, gone but not forgotten. Right there as well, didn't make it down to target 2, but went to target 1. So big gains there. And then on top of this, we went into what was happening here with the NASDAQ. Again, a lot of information. But again, we were looking for the NASDAQ down to 18.7, as you can see there this morning, looking for under 18.8 down to 18.71 and then 18.47. What happened here on the NASDAQ? Crystal clear action right down to our targets. You literally can't make this up. Literally right down almost to the tick to our level and then bouncing. And we're kind of getting more sell side here at the end of the day. So again, Discord's down below if you're interested. Tap in. The link is there so you guys can see. Also, too, if you're interested in trading futures or getting into this, the link is down below as well. I recommend if you're trying to scalp, guys, futures are the move. I've been trying to put you guys on. But again, top 1, the link is down below who I'm using. I just locked in 3 of their straight to funded accounts. But anyways, 50% off when you use code HEFE. Check them out. I have more videos on my second channel for education. But yeah, so going into NVIDIA, what we're looking at with semis moving forward, expectations. All I want to see for continuation is staying below 104.7 here. And this was another thing that I mentioned this morning as well. Kind of mapping this out for everyone here. Was NVIDIA, yeah, right here, staying below. We're watching basically 2 levels below your previous low, 104.7 and 106.3. But you can see, like, you held below, and then look at that reaction that you got off this morning. You break back below it, straight down to like 102. So as long as we're below that, making lower highs and lower lows, you got to be bearish on NVIDIA in the short term. Now, the big buying opportunities for me, in my opinion, for when you start going long term, things like that, down at 98, 96 is where I think you start to find big supports. You start breaking below that, and I think you're a little concerned down towards $80. But I'm going to tell you right now, I don't see how NVIDIA is not one of the biggest and best buying opportunities in this market right now. I firmly believe this is one of the best setups out there. And I think over the next 5, even 2 years, like this, I can't go wrong with this personally. Not financial advice, do your own due diligence and research, but I love it. Another big name I've been mentioning is TSM, which I will say back in 2022, I wasn't as big of a fan. But again, with their investments that they're making here, I have become a pretty big fan, right, with where we're at. You're coming down to your big support, 156, 158. Your next big level is down here at 142. This was your previous all-time high. You can see right there from 2022, 2021 was at 140. If you come back down to that level, I think it's a massive buying opportunity. But again, my mentality is dollar cost averaging on these names specifically, because I'm not going to be naive to the sense of we are making a confirmed bottom. You have to, bounce here. You don't have to. You're not guaranteed anything. So I think you just want to be conservative, slowly getting these names. But again, as I look at the broad market, there's definitely room for downside here. You have to realize that. Just getting rid of some of the drawings so you can see, the retest of the 200 SMA here. That's unadjusted, but when you adjust, you don't have it. But that was just gross on QQQ. You drop back down, you're breaking back down towards 18.6. This is bad. This is not a good look. I mean, your next level's down here like 18.4, 18.415. Overall, I'm looking for more continuation on the downside, and I don't think the market's really priced in all of this as well. The next thing, too, is reactions that we're going to see from these other countries. Now, I do think negotiations will start to happen over time, but I think you're going to start seeing some retaliation from these countries first. I think it probably happens either tonight or over the weekend. Most likely over the weekend. That would just make the most sense. And I think it's kind of keeping your head on a swivel from there. Another big name I'm watching too is ARM, but this has been one of the more volatile names. So, and again, Jordan traded this on the downside today. I'm really looking towards $80. That could be a big buying opportunity. You start getting back into IPO levels, and I think ARM is one of the biggest steals out there in the market as well. I like AVGO, but I like TSM more, to be honest. So, yeah, if I'm going in order of what I like the most, it'd be NVIDIA, TSM at the top. B tier would be ARM, AVGO. I think AVGO is above ARM personally, but ARM, the risk reward's really nice. If I want to open up risk, I think ARM has crazy potential to grow. I still think AVGO is a top tier name, but it's just moving really volatile back to the downside. I'd be looking closer to 139, and then you have to go all the way back to like 2021 highs, and again, that's like $64. So I don't know if you're going to make it back down there, but big level that I'd be watching next is around 140 and how I'd be kind of interpreting that as a whole. So semis are in a really interesting spot. I like them a lot long term, but if I'm buying them, I'm not going in there with the mentality of like, I'm going to make money quick. I'm going to make money over time. That's my mentality there of how I'm interpreting that. Again, I'll be going over more names tonight in the breakdown of the whole market. But again, what I'm looking at as a whole, if you have questions, comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking. But again, Twitter's the best way if you want to ask questions and get more information. I'm posting all day there as well. Have a good one, traders.